Our cover story tonight is about China, the scam called China. Beijing is exporting defective military equipment to the world. It is draining the military budget of other countries and sending them substandard material in return. Chinese jets have structural issues. Chinese radars don't work. Chinese ships have faulty systems. But now the knives are out and China's faulty weapons have misfired. Beijing's exports have taken a massive hit. Let's just start off by looking at the countries that receive defective military products from China. Just how many are we looking at? Far too many. And Nigeria is one of them. In the year 2009, China sent F-7 aircraft to Nigeria. Abuja realized the Chinese jets had technical problems. Many of these jets crashed or were lost in accidents. These were jets Nigeria paid $251 million for. In the year 2020, Nigeria sent back 7 Chinese jets for repair. And then you have Myanmar. In the year 2016, China struck a deal with Myanmar. Beijing was supposed to deliver 16 JF-17 jets. The first batch of 6 jets were delivered in 2018. Myanmar realized these jets were defective. The aircraft were supposed to help with interception, be capable of ground attack, except they could do neither. And if things weren't bad enough, these jets had structural cracks. The aircraft did not even have an effective beyond visual range missile or airborne interception radar. And Myanmar's junta found itself paralyzed. The country, after all, had paid $25 million for each aircraft. And China had looted them. In the year 2022, Myanmar was forced to ground the Chinese jets. Just tell me one thing. How is this not compromising Myanmar's defense capability? Tomorrow, if the country is forced to fight a war, what will it fight with? Grounded jets or faulty hardware? One thing's for sure, China will not come to their rescue. What will Myanmar do then? And the same question applies to all the countries that import military equipment from China. You are spending millions and billions in procuring weapons that you think should be able to defend your country. But what if that weapon stops working when you need it to work? What if the missile cannot be fired when the enemy is approaching? What if the tanks misfire? What if China's faulty hardware kills your soldiers instead of the enemy? Are you really ready to take that risk? Sure, Chinese military offers come with competitive pricing, also financing. But you should know that there are hidden costs in these deals. China will sell you faulty machines and then you will have to pay out of your own pocket to repair the substandard material. And even after that, there is no guarantee that machines will work. Also, there is no guarantee that the Chinese suppliers will be paying heed to your requests for repair work. Have a look at Bangladesh. Dhaka got K-8W jets from China for its Air Force. 9 jets arrived in 2014 to 15. Bangladesh then placed an additional order. This was for a fresh batch of 7 K-8Ws. But China delivered faulty machines. 2 of the 7 planes that arrived in the year 2020 had issues. And Bangladesh informed the Chinese National Aerotechnological Import and Export Corporation. But the Chinese response was rather vague. And the story does not end here. Bangladesh has also bought FM-90 from China. It's an anti-aircraft missile system. It was inducted into the Air Force in 2011. And soon, Bangladesh realized the system is defective. Dhaka found itself burdened with the cost of repair. It also found snags in the frigates procured from China. What's the point of buying these dubious defense products? Something 53 odd countries that China sells military equipment to must be asking themselves. I am talking about the likes of Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Thailand, Ethiopia, Central African Republic, Djibouti. Now, why aren't these countries ending military deals with China, you ask? Why aren't they sending back defective hardware? Is it because they are scared of the dragon? They should instead be scared of the insecurity that comes with doing business with the dragon. Have a look at Pakistan. It is the largest importer of Chinese defense equipment. Pakistan, in fact, accounted for 45% of China's defense exports between 2013 to 2022. A lot in this defense alliance has to do with the mutual desire to contain India. But how does Pakistan plan to do that is the question. By bringing a knife to a gunfight? Pakistan, for example, has imported F-22P frigates from China. The Pakistani Navy is now facing technical issues. The ships were not performing as expected. There are also cases of engine degradation. After commissioning these ships between 2009 and 2013, the Pakistan Navy realized that the onboard imaging device of the FM-90 missile system was defective. The display had faulty indication. The system could not lock on the target. And the ships also had defective infrared sensor systems. Also, the search and track radars had issues. So in short, the Chinese machines were useless. And guess what? Pakistan had paid $750 million for these ships. And what about China's own defense capability? Obviously, the Chinese are using their indigenous hardware. But can the defective machines guarantee a victory during a war? The fact is, most of these weapons have not been tested in the battlefield. But China is trying to sell these faulty machines to the world. One, to exert its influence through arms exports. And two, to open doors for the deployment of Chinese private security contractors. And number three, to obviously make money through these deals. China is now the world's fourth largest defense exporter. It trails the United States, Russia, France. But the graph is now facing downwards. China's arms shipments have fallen. We are looking at a 7.8% decline between 2016 and 2020. This is compared to the preceding 5 years. China's share in the global military equipment market has fallen from 5.6% to 5.2%. This is according to SIPRI, or the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. Now here's a question. Has the great Chinese curse of huge exports and little quality boomeranged? And the answer is yes. The faulty weapon has misfired and hit Chinese exports. And you know what? It all comes down to what we keep saying in India. Made in China is equal to unreliable. Time and again, China proves us right. Chinese products don't work. Chinese policies don't generate results. Ask Italy for that matter. It is walking out of Chinese Belt and Road, or BRI. It's all a part of the great Chinese scam, one that's been ongoing for a while now. Let's just take you back to the year 2019, the year China exported the Wuhan virus. Beijing followed it by exporting faulty test kits. China also exported faulty and unsafe PPE kits. This was at the peak of the pandemic, the Wuhan virus pandemic. Can you ever trust such a country? Why then let it drain your military budget? The moral of the story is, buy Chinese weapons, and it is not the enemy that will get hurt first. The purchaser could become the first casualty. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.